All right, everybody, we are here. Thank you for your patience. My name is Melanie Levitz, and I'm super excited if you're a guest to be able to introduce you to this most amazing individual, one of the most remarkable individuals that I have personally been able to meet and been able to get to know through the last 10 years of my life. Yes, Victor, thank you so much. We have run out of space because this gentleman is just a true blessing in so many people's lives. So if you want to get on my Facebook page, we are live right now on my social media Facebook page. So go ahead and go to Melanie Levitz on Facebook, and you'll be able to find the live feed of this stream right now. Let me just go ahead and make sure that it is active before we get started. Yes, we are live. Awesome. Great. So we have a lot of you guys from all around the world, and I'm super excited the link is, again, maxed out. So you can go to Melanie Levitz and go to my Facebook page and check us out live there to be able to view. For anyone that is asking, anyone that has not been able to get on, as we are now going to introduce to you the man of the hour. So thank you all who have served, who have given the ultimate sacrifice. As you guys know, we are celebrating the fallen today as it is Memorial Day. And as you guys know, or some of you may not know, our Chief Executive Officer, our co-founder, Wayne Nugent, was a prior Marine sergeant and just an unbelievable soldier, just giving back to our country and serving. And thank you to all of those who have served as well. Yes, we see you, Wayne, now from your desktop also. Yay! Now you just want to make sure you mute.
Oh shit, hang on.
There we go. You'll have to mute one of your sound systems. Okay, so as he's doing that, as you guys have heard, Wayne actually served in the Marines. He was a sergeant, and he's also our founder of WorldVentures. Our company has been around for over 14 years, almost 15 years. $4 billion company, and he's an amazing servant leader of God, always up front, leading by example, and he's also has a huge heart of gold. I've had the honor and privilege to be able to spend some time with him right there in his movie theater. He's checking out, oh, there comes all the books he's preparing for us. This guy is one of the most intelligent individuals that I've ever met. He actually quotes books and knows exactly which page it is on and shows us exactly what he's, trying to teach us. And, I'm just so honored and privileged to have him here with us. So without further ado, the one and only Mr. Wayne Nugent.
All right, Melanie. Love you, sweetheart. Always great to see you. Under coronavirus, not much has changed for me. I work from home a lot, and so I try to give people a visual, of the space. Like we got officer and a gentleman going on in the background. How about that, huh? I got nowhere else to go. And then all the other books over there. You can see from home. I'm upstairs, but today it's kind of raining outside. Can y'all see that? Yeah. So here we are. Look what we get to do, man. We get to work together, being mobilepreneurs, learning how to use all this technology from home and connect all of us from around the world. Normally we do this together on dream trips, and at our big events we do all over the world. And a group that plays together stays together. But one of the most important parts of doing a presentation is know your audience, know who you're talking to. And, right now I'm talking to people all over the world, multiple different countries, multiple different languages. But more importantly, today, on Memorial Day, it's about the military. And Melanie, I appreciate your leadership, not only for our country, but also being a general in WorldVentures and ranking up here and applying all those skills that you learned in life, but in the military, and then reapplying those here for all of us. And so thank you for taking the lead and doing this for all of us. What I want to do is, like, real quick, normally the stuff's hanging on my wall, but, you know, here's, you know, from my days, what am I doing here? This is the first picture of me, you know, coming out of boot camp, you know, and, you know, I guess there, you know, I was Lance, you know, private first class, actually. But private, you know, I'm grateful for my time in the military, and I would tell anybody to do it. I would do it all over again. There's other countries around the world where it's, you know, pretty much not an option. You're going in, but I think it gives people a head start, gives you that discipline. But hopefully you're doing it for all the right reasons. You know, you know, war is hell. I hate the war, love the soldier. You know, hate the war, love the soldier. You know, a soldier follows orders, and you know, we got to trust our politicians to work things out around the world. When you're adding more and more humans on the planet and people start fighting over resources, you know, we gotta follow orders. We gotta trust that they're gonna work it out. And you know, a lot of times, you know, that's very scary and questionable. But you know, I'm proud of my time in the military. My grandfather inspired me, and you know, so it was both. It was going to church 3 times a week and the military. But my grandfather didn't make a lot of money in life. He's a great man. Great man. I mean, I just love my grandfather, my grandmother, and my uncle who was in the military and things like that, you know, and my, you know, they just inspired me. You know, they were good people. And, but, you know, when I was in the military, and there's not a lot of money in it, and I wanted to get married and I wanted to have kids. And I got to give a huge shout out to the spouses of military folks and the kids of military folks, because, you know, you're a Marine 24/7. You're, you know, I mean, it's a life. I mean, you're dedicating your whole life to the military. So we just got to appreciate the, you know, our best that do that put their whole life into that, or on hold or whatever. And so I just really respect the soldier themselves for making that individual choice, but also the families that make it right along with them, the spouses and the kids. And that goes not only for the U.S. military, but military around the world. And you know, I'm actually a live and let live kind of a guy. You know, I'm a very, you know, peaceful kind of guy. I definitely believe in a war on debt, and that's something we need to talk about, because, you know, that's the biggest problem we got around the world right now is debt. And what are we going to do to come together, soldiers from around the world, military from around the world, and have this war on our personal debt, but war on the debt that's going on in the world? And yeah, I think one of the best at that is Robert Kiyosaki. And oh yeah, also my honorable discharge. Like I said, I love the Corps. I do it all over again. I tell anybody to go. You know, here's my guidebook for Marines. And if you get a book like this, I think this was from, like, let me see what year. So 1986. Guidebook for Marines, 1986. And you know what? Nothing's changed. If you look at the leadership principles and the leadership traits that are in this book, and you go to YouTube today and watch videos, these things don't change, because as humans, over time, we really don't change. I mean, life, clothing style changes, hairstyle changes, music changes, cars change, so much, but as humans, we don't change. And how long have humans wanted to travel? And how long have humans wanted to be, out of debt and financially free? So you take that experience and then you learn how to apply whatever you've done in life, whether it be sports or anything. How do you take that and apply it towards business? And that's what today is kind of about. How often do you need in life? How often do you need? Which one am I presenting to? Am I presenting to this one? Wait, help me out here. Which one do you got?
You're on both, Wayne. We could see you on both. We got all angles.
Okay, cool. All right, so you got that working for me. All right, sweet.
But this is the one that you're looking at now is the voice one. Yes.
Okay. All right. But either way, if I turn my head, you can hear me okay. Okay, good. So this is a really, really unconventional WorldVentures business presentation because I'm not in the field presenting every day. And Melanie, did a great thing getting us together. But I watched Josh do his presentation this morning. Phenomenal. Love him, respect him, appreciate him. Great job. And then Donna gets on, and I watch her presentation. And, it's so fun for me to have met so many years ago, Jim and Donna, and go visit them when they were just getting started, and then go to their house and just watch them rank up in our company and now provide leadership around the world. So, man, I'm really grateful for the leadership we have. And Javier comes in and his whole, background and story and accomplishment. But this is a day with me kind of in the middle, but after me, there's going to be other presentations, going over the same information. But from my perspective as the owner, as the chief visionary officer, it was my idea, it was my dream. And getting a sense of history and where that comes from and start with why, who's this meant to serve? And, today, like I said, I want to make it about the military today because when I was in the Marine Corps, and I'm living out of a hole in the ground for a month at a time, living below the poverty level. And if I got spam once a month, it was like a big deal. If I got a shower and a tent through PVC piping, open, I'm serious. I'm living below the poverty level. The Air Force gets all the good stuff. Oh man, there's always a part of you that wishes you just joined the Air Force. That was my original plan. Sorry, part of the problem I have is my phone blows up nonstop. So I'd be living, open squad bay too when you're stateside. And the head was a whole separate building. And I'd have to go out, in the rain, snow, whatever it was. And I'd take a big broom, to the shower with me. And I got big cockroaches coming out of the drain and just flying around in the shower. So while you're trying to take a shower and wash your hair, man, you got cockroaches just hitting you, and you're fighting. Oh, so even a big, bad, tough Marine, man, you're afraid of little cockroaches that fly. But I'm just saying, you got to love your soldiers, man, because they're not living the good life, the rich life, so to speak, but they got that heart. They got that sense of purpose. And they're bringing meaning. They know how significant the importance of their work is. So for anybody who served in the military, I just have this tremendous amount of gratitude and respect, and they're not doing it for the money. And so when we do kind of shift gears and we start talking about a whole nother life in travel, and we start talking about making money in travel, it's tough. I think it's really hard talking to a soldier because they're like, I'm not doing it for the money. And, you know, God bless you for that. That's who I want to make the most money in life, is the ones that aren't doing it for the money. You know, those are to me, the best people, and I want the best people to have the most money. But they're just not wired up sometimes that way. So if I can, you know, break through and say, you can do both. You know, when I was in the military, it was also Avon, you know, Skin So Soft was really a big popular item, keep the bugs away. That was better than the oily bug juice. But anyway, so I just want to go give you some history and break down the opportunity for somebody right now that it can lead into a full-blown presentation. But the way I've broke it down for years and years and years, and a lot of our leadership have done and replicated, and you'll see this in the presentations you watch following, there's lots of ways you can make money in life. There's lots of ways you can make extra money in life. And I'm always like, why not the travel business? If I could show you a way to make over $100,000 a year, over $100,000 a month, you know, would you be interested? If I could show you a way to make over $100,000 a year, over $100,000 a month in the travel business and travel around the world every month with your friends and family, your favorite and best people, would you be interested? I mean, be honest with me. You know, you can lie to yourself, but don't lie to me. Come on, really. If there was a way for you to make that kind of money and travel the world together and meet people from around the world and have friends around the world like we have, would you be interested? And if somebody's being honest, well, hell yeah, but it just doesn't sound real, right? Why doesn't an offer like that sound real? Why is that so hard to believe in? Because we're raised up in the real world. You know, we're raised up to go to school and get good grades and get the good job and save money and live below our means and then hopefully one day retire. And that's being taught here in America, the richest country in the history of the world. But then every other country around the world is doing the same thing, you know, and copying and emulating what we do. So you really have to kind of go back to when and where the school system started. Because, you know, we used to be family oriented and entrepreneurial and business minded, all this kind of stuff. So you just got to be a part of long-term trends and what's going on in the world and where we're at right now in the world. So when I first started WorldVentures and travel, remember there used to be a lot of storefront travel agencies, and you know, there was that's the way it was. You'd walk into a storefront agency, and I would go and I'd walk into the storefront retail travel agency, and floor to ceiling, there'd be a wall of brochures of traveling, you know, all over the world. And I would grab all those magazines and I would take them home, and they'd be in front of my, they'd be in the bathroom. Man, I had a whole library in the bathroom. You know how it goes, right? You want some reading material? When I'm sitting in the bathroom, I used to just dream about traveling all over the world. And I'm, you know, I do that now, you know, as coronavirus starts to unlock and I start saying, okay, you know, I want to start, people are going to start traveling locally and then go from there and start going around the world. This is going to happen, you know, pretty quickly because it's in the human spirit, it's in the human soul to want to go travel. So travel is going to come back big. It's going to come back bigger than ever because there's all this now. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, you know. I mean, when you take something away from people, man, they want it back, and they want it back even more than ever before, right? So that's what's going to happen with travel. And so now is actually the best time for you to position yourself in the travel business, in the travel industry. You know, it's the best time for you to get the travel deals because all the travel vendors and suppliers are looking to give you the best deal right now. But it's also the best time to put yourself in the travel business. So it's the best time to buy travel because you're going to get the lowest price. and they've adjusted the cancellation and change policies for like up to 2 years. So right now you can buy travel, get the lowest price, and if and when you need to change it down the road for any reason, you can. But the question is going to be, who are you going to buy it from? And how much you're going to pay, and what's going to be the value. It's more, value and price are two different things. What we have to offer, what we get rich doing, is showing people that we have a solution to what they want when it comes to travel, when it comes to vacations. We have the most bang for the buck. Everybody wants the best vacation they can get at the lowest price. And we have a business strategy that allows us to go get that and then give it to them. And without us doing this together in bulk, we wouldn't be able to get the good deal on our own. But because we work kind of like a group buying club, Sam's Club, Costco, something like that, and plus we're private, you can't see our prices unless you're logged in and you're a member. So we have that bulk buying power, and it's the consistency of that bulk buying power, and it's that it's all over the world, and you have to log in to see it behind a firewall. There's all these things that add up of the reasons why we get the best travel deals. But more than that, it's the best travel experience. When it's the difference between a vacation and a dream trip. Your body says, I need a vacation. But what you really want is a dream trip. But you don't know that because you don't know what a dream trip is. You don't know the difference between a dream trip and a vacation. So what we got to do is get you onto a dream trip. And then you'll come back going, wow, that was the best vacation I've ever had in my life for the least amount of money. Oh my goodness, I wish my favorite friend was there, my best friend was there, my favorite business. So this is why we try and teach people that word of mouth is the #1 form of advertising. And you can sell anything you believe in. So the question is, can you go on a dream trip and then believe in a dream trip and then come back and talk about that to your friends and family, your favorite and best? Absolutely. So many companies have been built and became #1 off word of mouth advertising, friends and family advertising. Mary Kay here in Dallas down the road, she had bumper stickers that said #1 selling brand, not L'Oreal, not Revlon, not Maybelline, but Mary Kay. And then also before that, after that, there was the #1 telecom company, long distance company, back before Zoom and Skype, and long distance was free, much less video long distance. Okay, before all that, you used to have a landline phone and you had to pay for long distance to make a call. And here in Dallas, Fort Worth, which are right next to each other, cities that were joined, it was a long distance call. I mean, ridiculous. At some point, to call across the street was like a long distance call. So, but those days are gone. But it used to be AT&T, MCI, Sprint, and then a company out of Dallas right here came along called Excel Telecommunications, and they became #4. A company named Amway did a deal with MCI called Friends and Family Program, and they became #2 behind AT&T. And then after that was Sprint, and Sprint had a direct sales force. So #2, #3, and #4 all used word of mouth advertising and friends telling friends to build a telephone network that put AT&T out of the long distance business. And a lot of people don't know that history. And the same thing, with nutrition, when you look at a company like Herbalife, it's #1. Not here in America, GNC, Vitamin Shop, all these companies. Herbalife was like, 3 times bigger than GNC. So most people, they think if I want to go buy some health and wellness products and nutrition products in the retail place, I'm going to go to the, the store that just, that's what all they sell, and they go to GNC. That's $2.5 billion. But, Herbalife's going on like 5 billion. So like double. But Amway, of their 10 billion a year in revenue, 60% of it is their, nutrition. So those 2 companies alone are just absolutely huge. But same thing with life insurance. When you come to New York Life, MetLife, Prudential, you add up all these insurance companies, and they would hire people and give them a suit and tie and have them go talk, very corporate, very business. But all of a sudden, years later, a company called A.L. Williams came along. In fact, I got the book right here. Art Williams, he came along, and he wound up just getting normal, average, everyday people together, wanted to make some part-time money on the side to go sell term life insurance to their friends and family. And then they beat number 1, 2, and 3 together. New York Life, MetLife, Prudential, the four big life insurance companies at the time. Very corporate. Taking people part-time on the side and teaching them how to make money. So they became number 1. But what is it that we naturally sell, to each other? And I would argue that the number 1 product that we naturally sell to each other and want to use with each other is travel. And when I was in the Marine Corps, I flew out of, come on, military. I saved up all my leave days, right? Everybody would disappear for the holidays, and I would stay on base alone. And I would save up all my leave days so that I could take 2 weeks and go to Europe. And I hopped a Mac flight out of Dover, Delaware. It was either, I can't even remember now, it was Rhein-Main or Ramstein in Germany that I flew into, right? Out of Dover, Delaware. It cost me like $10 or $15 to get on to fly myself over to Europe on a military aircraft. And then I backpack Europe, for 2 weeks. I get robbed in Rome. I got to go to Stuttgart, Germany, the only place I can get a Marine Corps ID to get back. But here I am, I'm sleeping outside. I'm sleeping on park benches. I'm sleeping on beaches. I had no money. I took some Levi's and some Zippo lighters to try and trade along the way. I took out a high interest loan that I paid like over 21% interest on for 15 years. Never complained one time. So I save all my leave days. I go get a high interest loan. I hop on a military aircraft to fly over to Europe, where I'm sleeping on cargo netting, right? I'm sitting on cargo netting. The E6 on the plane says, "Hey, anybody want some coffee?" I said, "Yeah, I do." He goes, "Good. Well, while you're up, get me some too." And every time you get up to get yourself anything, you ask me if I want anything. So welcome to the military airlines. But, that was one hell of an experience, backpacking all over Europe and seeing this old world. And you get a sense of there's less opportunity. And that's how it is a lot of places in the world. It feels like there's less opportunity. I came back to America. I got out of the aircraft, and I laid out on the airport runway, and I hugged and kissed the earth. That's how I felt about America. What it's like somewhere else, I don't know. I'm just telling you, as an American at the time, this is supposed to be the land of opportunity. And it used to be a lot of people had to come from around the world to America for the land of opportunity. But now, because of technology, we're able to take the opportunity and export it all over the world. So right now, as I speak from Dallas, Texas, I can say you can make big country, big economy money from wherever you're at. If you've got a smart device and you're not dumb, if you learn how to use your smart device in a smart way, you can get rich from wherever you're at, all over the world. So yes, as we got people logged in from around the world, it used to be the best place to go for opportunity and to change your life was however you can get to America. That's not the case anymore. We're able to bring opportunity to you from wherever you're at, but you got to shift your thinking. And most people are still thinking with a job mentality, the power of one mentality, where they only make money off what they do in life. So J. Paul Getty, I'd rather make 1% on the efforts of 100 people rather than 100% on my own. And you got to learn my two favorite words when it comes to changing your life financially is leverage and residual. Leverage and residual. Leverage comes from leadership. There's almost nothing better to learn leadership than the military. So again, as I talk about people in the military, you're like in this best environment for learning the leadership structure and the leadership skills. And you got to learn the business skills to go with that. And, you know, so you get a lot of former military, you know, coming out. And I like Jocko Willink, you know, extreme ownership, you know, take accountability, you know. And, but, you know, fearless leadership here, fighter pilot, you know, we've got some friends in WorldVentures, you know, that are military minded. How do you take your military experience and apply it towards business? And, you know, for me in the Marine Corps way, the Marine Corps book, in the back of it, these former Marines who became successful business leaders. And it just goes through and it lists all the companies where Marines are the CEOs of all these companies. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you in the military is you got this huge head start on leadership and business and making money, and that it's not a bad thing. Don't be mad at money. I tell people, you did your time, you did your service. God bless you. You know, if you're looking for that change, or if you're not, if you're looking for something you can do while in the military to supplement your income, I think that's great. And hang on, I want to share my screen here, but the button disappeared from me. Hang on, here we go. Doggone it. Let me see if this will work. Can you help me share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to share your screen, Wayne. In the bottom, it says share screen in green.
Okay, there we go. Doggone it. Sorry, I use my iPad a lot and my desktop a lot. The buttons are different, so I forget. Okay, thank you. Let's see, is it working? Is it working? I don't think so. Hang on.
Not yet.
I got it. Is it working?
You selected screen share at the very bottom, and then select desktop. Double click or hit share on the bottom right.
Okay, here we go. Thank you. How do I move this? Okay, here's your homework, everybody. Go to Wikipedia, put in, personal income, or you can Google search this, personal income statistics in America. This is what I help motivate myself mentally. Okay, because the body follows the head. And it's your body and brain that's going to go produce you income. But you gotta be open-minded. The first step to getting rich and successful in life is be open-minded. Be willing to look at new things, and then learn new things, try new things, do new things, and then your results will change. Your circumstances will change. Okay, so how do you make this fit with what you already love? I mean, you could be in the military and still get rich. You could be a starving artist and still get rich. You do not have to stop what it is you love or you're passionate about, to start doing this and transition to this. But I really want you to see what the income statistics, in America are, the richest country in the history of the world, and still arguably the best place for income. And when you look at it, when you break down a chart like this, and you see that almost 43% make less than $25,000 a year, but right here, you got 70% of the population in the richest country in the history of the world. 70% of the population makes less than $50,000 a year. You see that? Okay, 90% make less than $100,000 a year. Over 9 out of 10. When I first started doing this, this was 3%. Only 3% made over $100,000 a year. When I started tracking this 20 years ago, when I first started doing this kind of thing, part-time on the side, then became full-time, this number right here was only 3%. And now it's 9%. So it went up 6 or 7%. That means the rich are getting richer. But the other number that grew is the bottom percent, and which means the poor are getting poorer. And what you're going to start hearing more and more about is the wealth gap in America, which is also true for the rest of the world, especially emerging markets and things. So you can't be ignorant of this stuff. You can't be oblivious to it. You've got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. And so when I come to Texas right here, it doesn't matter where in America, but you can see the average is like 44,000. It's going to show you what, income after taxes. But here's what I want y'all to see, because again, I'm talking to the military today. And here's where I was talking about, I started at the very bottom, an enlisted Marine. I'm living below the poverty level. I worked my way up to E4. I would have been an E5, but they had to give that to somebody else because I got 2 screws in my right shoulders, torn ACL in my right knee, got my right kidney removed, so I'm on a medical discharge. But you see, even E5, what I would have been earning, after 5 years in. So, you're at a little over $3,000, or about $3,000 a month. I mean, what can you buy with only $3,000 a month? What's your life like? I mean, what kind of food are you eating? What kind of car are you driving? What kind of food are you eating? What kind of shampoo are you buying? I mean, this is where you go to a restaurant and you read the menu from left to right instead of right to left. But look at this, y'all know you need to, in all the presentations that your Marine Corps military friends are going to be looking at, this is the pay scale of the military in the United States, which I'm sure is probably higher than a lot of other countries. But I'm just telling you, man, I was living below the poverty level. And here's warrant officers like Javier. But if you become a general after 20 years, you got to be a minimum of 20 years to become the highest rank in the entire military as an officer. So, you know, you'll have like Jim and Donna Chambers, you know, who'd been in as career military, you know, up here. They can tell you, you know. But when you're talking generals, and the minimum is you had to be in for 20 years, you're at $16,000 a month. But if you do another 20 years and you're in for 40 years, that only goes, I mean, look at that. Oh man, they capped this since the last time I looked. The pay got worse over the last few years. So I'm just telling you, if you're like, you know, 4-star general at the top of the military food chain, an IMD in WorldVentures makes a lot more money. Now, again, for military, it's not about the money. Dude, I love you and respect you for the amount of responsibility you have for this amount of money, okay? For the amount of what you're a Marine 24/7. You give up your whole life. And again, I would do it all over again. And I appreciate everybody that is doing it, and especially the families. But I knew I wanted to get married one day and have kids. And so I was really proud of my time. But now I'm also happy to be married with children, and it's like I've had 2 lives. Okay. I've had my military life, which I love and would do all over again and tell everybody to do it again. And I've had the life after the military. So, and I did have family that was in for over 20 years. So again, today's Memorial Day, and, you know, there's so many of us on this call that have never been in the military, and they wonder what would it have been like if I had been in the military, you know? Well, you know, I think you do it for all the right reasons, to, you know, protect and serve your country and your people, and absolutely. And then also, you got this one life to live. You know, you're not Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was a fighter pilot, right? We got a new Top Gun movie coming out. But then he was a super spy. Remember, he was like a spy for the government too? Whatever, the IMF? Or whatever that was. Not IMF, what is it? But Tom Cruise was a race car driver. Tom Cruise was, so you're not an actor. You don't get to be an actor in life where all of a sudden you get to have all these lives, you know what I'm saying, unless you're an actor. But in real life, you dedicate 20, 30, 40 years to something. And then you usually shift and go do something else. My advice is get good at something worth getting good at. And I think that getting good at the travel business right now is worth getting good at. That it's going to have a more than 20, 30, 40-year run in front of it that's going to be good for you and good for your family. Why? Because of change. The only constant in life is change. And how are you positioned to take advantage of change? So this is where you got to use your God-given, you know, creativity. How do I bring up my, let's see, okay. Let me stop sharing. Here we go. Okay. How do you use what God gave you to now reinvent yourself? Okay, like when I was coming out of the military, they want me to transition from military life into the civilian world. And my job in the military was kind of what's going on right now. Okay, I was nuclear, biological, chemical, warfare, defense specialist. Okay, I ran people through the gas chamber. Gas, gas, gas. Dawn and clear, man, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't just chemical, it was biological. And my job in the military was to track biological age. If there was a chemical munition that hit and where that gas cloud's going to go with nerve agent or whatever, I had to track where that was going to go and how it was going to affect the operations. And But with a biological weapon, like if all of a sudden you inject mosquitoes, a vector to go fly around and inject people with a poison, or you poison a water supply with a biological agent or something, you know, there's nuclear, and where the nuclear cloud is going to go of the fallout radiation. So that's what I did in the military, is plot these kind of attacks and predict and where they're going to go, and train Marines how to survive in whatever environment it was going to be, you know. And so there's all this talk, and we living through, what kind of war are we living through? Currency wars lead to trade wars lead to real wars, what we think of as shooting wars. But now in between a shooting war, okay, you got cyber war, you got political war. We're all living in this one world that's totally shrinking. Everybody's fighting with you. And then there's us, right? And what are we going to do? How are we positioned? And it's like, I'm saying, yeah, wake up. And you start following the best investors in the world, like a Ray Dalio, you know, coming debt crisis. How are you positioning yourself and your family for all the money that's being printed right now, which is debt? The government's got no money. The government's money is your money. When they write the check now, at some point the bill comes due, and what that means is higher taxes for you. It means higher prices of products. So whatever money you earn is going to go less far. You're going to feel like that proverbial frog in a pot where they turn it up the temperature and you're getting cooked and you don't even know you're being cooked. So then you're about the side hustle. You got to get yourself a side hustle. You know, or you got something like giants, like who really owns and controls the world, man, the big money, right? You got Atlas Shrugged. This is like one of the best books you'll ever read in your life. This is top-down thinking. Oh my God, this is top-down. Who's John Galt? We all gonna like just escape and start our own country or something, right? Hey, don't be at war with each other because of skin color. In the Marine Corps, you're either light green or dark green, but you're both green. You're green. You know what I'm saying? In WorldVentures, we bleed blue. You're blue. But you read like just economics. What makes business sense? What's gonna work and what's not gonna work? What's sustainable in business? In your own personal life, you read a book like this, you know, The Richest Man in Babylon. This will make you want to make money and save money. It'll teach you how to pay yourself first, save 10%, start applying that, and then anybody can get rich. Anybody can become a millionaire. You know, read like The Millionaire Next Door and all that. One of my favorite books that everybody in the world, you can go to YouTube and watch a video on it. How an economy grows and why it crashes. And you'll see the most basic economic thing happen where, you know, you're on an island, you go fishing, you build a fishing net, it just grows and grows and pollen. Everybody needs to wake up and realize what's going on in the world right now in the economy and how it's going to, everything that feels bigger than you, I'm telling you, affects you. And you just realize how they locked down the whole world. When was the last time something like that happened? I think it was like back in like Noah's Ark, right? When was the last time the whole world was on lockdown? And this was kind of like Noah's Ark all over again. And who could imagine such a thing, that they're going to shut down every business and quarantine people, lock them all at home around the world? If that was in one country, that'd be a big deal, especially the largest economy in the world. But when it's every country, every economy, how that's going to affect people. Your net worth is directly proportionate to your net worth. And what Zoom is allowing us to do from around the world right now from our homes is network with each other and become networked. And then the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your communication. And if you want to get more out of life and from life and income, then you got to give more to life. And the more you're just camping out at home and binge watching Netflix or Hulu or something like that, you ain't learning anything valuable. You ain't giving more to the world or to life, so you ain't gonna make no more money. But if you're willing to learn some new skills And it doesn't take but a week or two with us. In a week or two, we can have your mind in a totally different place and your skill set in a totally different place. This can be life-changing in a hurry. So in 2 weeks, in 2 months, in 2 years, you could be in a whole new world. But your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Okay? My favorite book, As a Man Thinketh. Mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought. Shaping what he wills brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. They themselves are makers of themselves. Okay? But as a man thinketh, think and grow rich. Do what? Think and grow rich. The power of positive thinking, which this is the church that Trump actually went to with his family growing up in New York City. And you can go by there in New York and see it. But anything but, you start watching Norman Vincent Peale, and there's all these good ones to listen to. The magic of thinking big. But just like Javier was highlighting, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Cash flow quadrant. Okay? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, cash flow quadrant. This is the kind of education you need right now. And you can watch videos on YouTube. You don't have to buy all these books. You don't have to read from cover to cover. Nowadays, they got the Cliff Note version is the video of the book. And that would be my advice. I had a lot of these before YouTube existed. Here, I'll do it again. But so Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then cash flow quadrant, which Javier was showing you earlier. Okay? E quadrant, S quadrant, B quadrant, I quadrant. Most people are employees. And this, if you're in the military, you're an employee. And then this is small business or specialist or whatever. On this side of the quadrant, you're limited on income. It's always the power of one. Your resume, your grade point average, your credentials, you're limited by you. But even here, you're limited by you. Even if you own the small business or you're a specialist, like a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. But then over here, you get into big business. This is where you have like 500 employees or more. Or with what we do, if you've built a network of 500 around the world with Zoom and technology and our opportunity that we have, you can become a big business. And this is be spending off more money than all your bills. And now you can get to a place where now you have extra money. You're over 300,000 a year, 500,000 a year. Now you can put money into investments and make money on investments. But before you do that, you got to hang out with a network like us that's going to teach you that before you invest, realize that a lot of the economy is fake. And you learn how to see through it so you can make the right investments at the right time. And once you understand how the world works and the economy works, and what's going on, you can make money. But what people don't know right now is that this is Robert Kiyosaki's new book, Who Stole My Pension? This is where we've got pensions being invested in the other countries, economies, other companies that aren't there. This is a global problem because people that did the school teachers, the firemen, the policemen, the military, their retirement got invested into bad companies. And so even though you did everything right, you made good grades, you got a good job and got a good career and you live below your means and you saved and invested the difference, if you don't understand what's going on, you're going to lose your pension because of this worldwide economy. That's what's going on. And it all gets masked by what's going on. A guy like me is trying to wake you up and set you free, saying, I'm building you a company with a product and a service that's uniquely positioned and built for the future, and you can have a lot of fun and make a lot of money. Okay? We already know that travel's fun. So we say at WorldVentures, we're here to create more fun, freedom, and fulfillment in your life. Our product is fun. Travel is fun. Our opportunity creates the freedom because we can get you earning more money on a sometime basis, part-time basis, and then eventually a full-time basis, which, as Javier said, is typically right around that, $1,000 a week place. If we can get you making $1,000 a week, part-time on the side, odds are you go full-time. And then you start making a lot of money because you don't have a boss or a job or something else slowing you down, getting in the way. But I'm looking to build an army. Okay, I'm looking to build a business army where I, as the chief vision officer and the business, I have the ideas that put us out in the middle of the blue ocean all by ourselves with no competition. I am positioning us for no competition for the next 20 years. That's what I'm busy doing every day, all day long. And trust me, I got a good list right here. Woo! And they're all boom, boom, boom coming together. So I'm already preparing the company right now for the next 20 years. All right. And this is how you kill the giants, because the giants aren't prepared. Go look. Expedia is hurting. Airbnb is hurting. Uber is hurting. Okay. We've got the strategy for the future because there's over 40 million unemployed here in America. What's that number around the world? And here's what I believe, that the economy might take another hit again, because when all these companies report next quarter earnings, you're going to see a drop in GDP of probably 40%. And all of a sudden, people are going to take another hit. They're going to get scared again, find yourselves. That creates opportunity for us because, yes, we have the best, most fun, sexy travel product in the world, okay? That's always going to appeal to the human nature and soul. Why don't people travel more? You tell me. What are the main two reasons people don't travel? Time, lack of money. And with WorldVentures, we solve both of those issues. We save you time on putting together the trip around the world because it's already thought out for you. We save you money because we've got the bulk buying and all that. But I'm going to add a third one. I'm going to say that what's going to become more and more important to people is safety. That when I do travel around the world, I want to travel safely with somebody, which means I need other people that have the time freedom and the money freedom to travel with me. I need to be using these technology platforms like Zoom to connect and make friends with other people around the world so that when I travel to other parts of the world, I have friends already there, that we have this in common. So that's what we have that nobody else has. It might start out local where all of a sudden I'm looking at what can I do with my wife and my kids and start traveling the country. And this just kind of get your dream machine going. Anytime you start looking at books like this, it gets your dream machine going. But we have all these hotels, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star at the wholesale price because I got the feed from Expedia, I got the feed from Priceline, we got the feed coming up out of Asia with C-Trip, the biggest feeds in the world we got, but we pass on the wholesale pricing to our people. So that's a product you can't get on your own. And then when you start talking 5-star, when all of a sudden we got more and more people going full-time in our company, making more and more money, earning more and more points. I mean, all of a sudden, man, you want to go to the best places in the world. And so this is, we have the exclusivity with this company and their lines of product. This is a part of your platinum and titanium, you know, and we're giving you the best 5-star hotels in the world. So right now, you might only have enough money to drive, you know, a few miles away from your city to a 1-star hotel, 2-star hotel, 3-star hotel, whatever it is. Okay, we can start you there. But over time, now you're in the 4 and 5-star, and now you are traveling further. And then eventually, over time, like a lot of our leaders do, they're getting the private jet, they're getting the private yacht, they're getting the. And these are people that we were all broke when we started. We didn't have the money to do this, but after all these years of doing this together, now all of a sudden, we've got a business that's running 24/7 around the world because we're in 40 countries. We've done going up, you know, over $4 billion in sales. Most of that money we pay back out to people all over the world. So we've created that kind of opportunity. It's been a real win-win-win for everybody, right? It's been a win for the suppliers and vendors. It's been a win for us as a company. It's been a win for you as reps. It's been a win for our customer and their experience that they get. So anyway, that's who we are. That's what we're about. You know, my job more than anything is hopefully to just make you curious about what your options are in life, why you need them, how we fit, how we're a good fit. I'm not saying we're the only thing out there. I think we're the best thing, you know, allow me to say that. But no matter what, just the way I'm thinking, and man, the military are proven to do great with us. If you'll go study Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay, and you understand that people are in survival mode. Once you get your food, clothing, and shelter taken care of, and then all of a sudden, you know, you rank up from there, but you get up to self-actualization, you can hit the top of this and be very, like, everything's going great, and you're very self-actualized, and all of a sudden, bam, a bad economy comes, and boom, you get knocked down a few notches. You know what I'm saying? Us as a company, we're always thinking about how can we keep growing together and getting better and better together. And then you get into tribal leadership and different levels of leadership. And you go watch a video on this, but you know, life sucks, my life sucks, I'm great, we're great. And the military is all about we're great. Teamwork will get you through. We're great. And then we can change the world for the better. And so you learn this top leadership thinking. But as you reflect back on your life of 40 years, you got 40 years where it's the key part of your life where you're at 16, 19, 21, you know, all of a sudden, you know, you're really kind of starting your own life away from your parents and stuff. And then you got 40 years in between. And then after that, it's like you've had your career. You've earned what you're going to earn. You've raised your kids. You've been married. And then you start getting into those retirement years. This is about you having an overall really good life. But coming out of this bad economy, there's going to be a lot of people that go into victimhood. And they're going to be looking for us as leaders to guide them through every aspect of life. Your spiritual, your physical, your emotional, your intellectual, and your financial. So us as a company, we're thinking about all this. We are the right company at the right time with the right product, the right pay plan, and the right support tools and systems. And when somebody like Melanie comes along and organizes us of, you know, people in the military and says, how can we take our normal message of travel and opportunity and really make that fit the military community on Memorial Day? You know, who's passionate about that? Who's excited about that? And she asked me as the owner of the company and the chief visionary officer and all this, will you come on? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Because I want to say thank you to our military. our military, but military around the world too, because I know what it takes. Because I don't care what military you're in, you're human. I don't care what uniform you wear. I don't care what rank you have, you're human. And the things I'm talking about matter. Your money matters. Your quality of life matters. Freedom matters. Travel matters. Fun matters. But most people don't know that there's a company that I can plug into on a sometime basis, a part-time basis, and eventually maybe even a full-time basis. So our job is to kind of lay out everything in front of you, the whole big vision, and you pick and choose what fits you best. And if it's only, I want to see a way to save money on my travel, okay, great, we got that for you. I want to have the best experience when I do travel. All right, we got that for you. Yeah, I'm looking for a way to, pay off some debt. I'm looking for a way to eventually get free. I know that in the future I'm going to retire. And, you're not going to be in the military forever. And what's your retirement going to look like? So we've got all that, and we're a peaceful company. We're like our own virtual country. And our generals are people that care about the well-being of your whole being. And we're saying you can go it alone in life and be the power of one. You don't learn that in the military. You do not learn in the military to be an individual and be the power of one. In the military, you learn the power of teamwork. And that's all we're saying, is there's a smarter way to go about your financial life, and that's through teamwork. And so I know there's a lot of ways for you to make money in life, full-time, part-time, all that. And I really hope that you'll consider, WorldVentures, because I come from the military. I was raised in it. I did it. I love it. And a big part of what I enjoyed about being in the military too was traveling and seeing the world, but I didn't get to travel in style or luxury. Like I said, I'm sleeping outside and all this, but now I go back to those same places, but I'm staying in the 5-star hotel in the penthouse suite. And it's not lost on me. I'm grateful. And I don't want that just for me. Okay. I want that for everybody else. And if you have an abundant mentality, the truth is that is available to you, but you got to think in terms of leverage and residual. Leverage comes from leadership, and the residual comes from, the product you're selling, and you get a piece of that residual, that subscription model that Jim and Donna have been, laying out in their presentations, so effectively, this subscription model. And yeah, you get your piece of that. Do you get a piece of, Amazon Prime? Yes or no? No. Do you get a piece of Netflix? Yes or no? No. Do you get a piece of Hulu and all these others? No. Okay. Do you get a piece of a Costco membership? No. Okay. With us, all we're saying is we're going to share the wealth with you for your word of mouth. And can you believe in Costco? Do you believe in Netflix as a company and a product? Yeah. Can you learn to believe in us too? Yeah. And if you do, will you share it with others? And if you do share it with others, do you deserve to get a small piece of that? Absolutely. That's the way we think. We'd rather share the wealth with you. And so in that sense, this is kind of like, I don't know. It is. I think it's the future. And it's not just the future for America, but the 40 countries we're in. And so we've got the best travel at the lowest price, but the highest value. And I got friends from around the world that I can go travel with, like Melanie and all the presenters today. But my military friends on Memorial Day, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your service. We feel your pain when you lose a friend, and it's them that gave us the freedom to pursue this opportunity, our life, and we wouldn't have it if the world's, you know, in chaos and crazy and upended. So thank you for holding the line. And you know, a lot of times it's peace through strength. And we'll say prayers over the leaders of the world, that they keep us in a very peaceful state. But anyway, I think that what you're looking for is just something for you, something for your spouse, something for your kids, and hopefully something that can outlive you. And that's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm coming from. And I take that responsibility seriously. And I feel like I'm co-creating this with other leaders like Melanie. And I salute her and I appreciate her just as a friend, but a general in our money-making army, our travel army. But, you know, thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Yay! Thank you, Wayne. We love you so much. We have people watching all over the world. The news feed is blowing up. The Facebook feed is blowing up. They want us to post this on YouTube to share with the world. Your words are golden. Thank you, Wayne, for everything that you do. We absolutely love you.
It's our co-creation. And you go your whole life and never see this again. That there's a company where we have friends from all over the world and families from all over the world, where we're all working together. We're all networked together. We're taking advantage of technology. And even in a lockdown, we're having a lot of fun together and making a lot of money together. Thanks, everybody.
Amen. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Wayne. And for everybody that's watching, we'll be here live in 40 minutes with yours truly, sharing the amazing gift, heaven on earth, that you just saw Wayne Nugent created for all of us to win at. So thank you, Wayne. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you guys again in 40 minutes. Bye, everybody. Woo.